Hello everybody, I'm Seibenlore bringing you more Magic the Gathering lore. Today, let's continue through our 25 cards of Christmas with card number 13, Iona, Shield of Emeria. Iona is an angel, and like most angels throughout the multiverse, she was created as a grouping of white mana collected and formed a sentient being. Iona stood for justice, truth, and everything good in the world. She also was a ruthless executioner of the wicked. Iona's world was the plane of Zendikar, which had no short supply of wicked creatures. For centuries, Iona fought against your typical demons and vampires, protecting the elves, humans, and merfolks found on Zendikar from the creatures of darkness. But nothing could prepare her or the other angels from the force of destruction which was headed right for them. The Eldrazi gods Emrakul, Ulamog, and Kozilek found the plane of Zendikar and began to feed on its rich supply of mana, destroying all those in their path. Of course, the angels were some of the first beings to respond to this new threat, forming one of the first resistances to the Eldrazi. They were driven by their desire to protect those who were helpless to the destructive force of the colorless gods. Yet, the Eldrazi were not like the angels' usual opponents of darkness. Their strange colorless magic made them much more powerful opponents than any demon. The angels were slaughtered, and only few survived to see the Eldrazi's eventual capture in the Hedron prison. Though the Eldrazi sought to end the angelic resistance, they were unsuccessful, leaving some survivors to bear the scars of their failure. Iona was one such survivor. Those angels who survived the initial Eldrazi attacks went on to suffer great shame for not fulfilling their duties. Their purpose was to protect the helpless on Zendikar, but against the Eldrazi, they could protect no one. As they failed time and time again, the angels began to wear their halos across their eyes. This blinding light shielded the angels from the atrocities that were being committed by the Eldrazi. Since the angels could do nothing to save those in the paths of the gods, they simply blocked it from their visions. The halos stung to be worn this way, and they served as a leash, shackling the angels and preventing them from coming to the aid of the Eldrazi's victims. With their eyes covered by their halos, the angels could help those on the plane who still had a chance to survive, but it would always remain to remind them of their ultimate failure. With the memory of the Eldrazi fading to myths and legends, the merfolks of Zendikar created a deity named Emeria to help explain the events of the long-forgotten past. This generation of merfolk had no idea of the Eldrazi's destruction, and so they toted them as gods who came to bring light and life to Zendikar. The mantle of Emeria was mistakenly given to the Eldrazi Emrakul, who was falsely worshipped as a benevolent god, and Iona was heralded as an angel of Emeria. Even the blinding halos began to take on a different meaning to the denizens of Zendikar. They believed the angels who wore these halos were impartial and stood for real justice, being blind to anything but the truth. But there were some who kept hold the memories of the past. While others painted Zendikar's destructive history with gold halos and white wings, Iona resisted the Eldrazi and maintained her sight. She remembered the destruction, she remembered the feelings of hopelessness, but she never forgot her loyalty to the downtrodden. She would never wear her halo around her eyes, for she would voluntarily sacrifice herself if it meant ending the destruction of Zendikar. As the sleeping gods of Zendikar began to stir once more, Iona knows that she would be doomed to face them alone. But the times have changed, and the centuries of silence from the Eldrazi has allowed great heroes to be born on the plane. As the Eldrazi are released from their prisons, the plane itself mobilizes a defense. The angels begin to shatter their halos in order to protect and serve once again. With Iona leading the way, a new hope has spread throughout Zendikar. A glorious new generation of angels that promises to stem the tide of Eldrazi annihilation. So, there you go guys, the lore behind Iona, Shield of Emeria, and the 13th card of Christmas. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and make sure you return tomorrow for the next card of Christmas. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.